Hello, everybody, and good morning. Welcome to the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. So we're going over John Maxwell's book, Good Leaders Ask Great Questions, and today we're on Chapter 7. So before we go into that, we're going to go ahead and invite some people onto here.
Always something. Select all. Copy. There we go.
Got him?
Got him. So,
Got it.
get all those people on.
Yeah.
Mr. Carey.
All right. There we go. All right, perfect.
All right, David Clark, what's happening? How are you? Dakota, what's going on? You're out door dashing. Great. Okay, so we're on Chapter 7. Good leaders ask great questions. It's one of the things you have to learn how to do if you're going to be in front of people all the time. So Chapter 7 is how do I resolve conflict and lead challenging people. Challenging people meaning sometimes you're a pain in the... Yeah. So they can change. This deals with ability. Will they change? This deals with attitude. So, everybody can change and become a nicer, better person, but not everybody will, which is just something you just have to deal with. So how do you do that? It says, meet privately ASAP to discuss the behavior. So you do not bring up conflict in front of everybody else. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to damage that person's ego and or reputation with the group. It's something that needs to be discussed behind closed doors. Albert Schweitzer says the truth has no special time of its own. Its hour is now or always. So basically, you want to get to the good stuff right away and eliminate the bad stuff immediately. To ask for their side of the story. So you always want to get where they're coming from, because in some cases you might have it wrong, because people will bring stuff to you in a leadership position. When you get into that position, people will bring you stuff. Oh, you're not going to believe what so-and-so's doing. You're not going to believe what so-and-so's saying. So always get their side of the story. Okay, so what's up? What's been going on? This has been brought to my attention. What happened? Before you say anything. 3, try to come to a place of agreement. Can we agree that this happened? Yes. Can we agree? So you always want to start with what actually happened and everybody's going to agree upon. Did this happen? Did this happen? This? Yes. Okay, well then can we come to the agreement that it could have been dealt with another way, or whatever the situation may be? 4, set out a future course of action with a deadline. Okay, from now on we're going to do this. If this happens, you're going to come to me and let somebody else resolve it, whatever the situation. Validate the value of the person and express your commitment to help. This did happen. Sorry it happened. We're going to make it right from now on. 2, so this is the second question in the chapter. How do you raise the bar with people who have gotten used to basically settling for mediocrity? You beat them up. Morgan, how are you? No, you don't beat them up. It says leaders should always look at themselves first. I cannot raise the bar for others if I haven't raised the bar for myself. So you have to set yourself to a new standard before you kind of push everybody else to that standard. Are you reaching your maximum potential? Would you like to do better? Do you know how to reach your maximum potential? And, who can help? Who can help is really a great question. Nothing good comes out of being average professionally. So if nobody wants to pay big money for average. Do you want to pay big money for an average meal? And the answer is no. Do you want to pay big money for, average leadership? No. Do you want to pay big money for an average job? No. You don't want to do that. You're only going to pay big money for the professional in the field, for the best of the best. That's why certain things cost so much money. Toyotas are made in 6 weeks by machines, and a Rolls Royce and a Bentley are made by hand, and it takes 6 months. That's the difference. It's the best versus, efficiency. Unfortunately, the system's set up to sell you average is okay. By the way, for those of you who don't know, school was set up. There were 2 schools set up: the normal school and the common school. That literally that's what they were named: the normal school to make everybody normal, and the common school to make everybody the same. So you can be normal and common. That's just the way it works. It says, "Happy Thursday to everybody headed to to get stuff done." So, so you were programmed to be average, is what I'm saying. You can be the average in a hobby, but not in a business. You don't have to be the best in a hobby. You're there to have fun. But when you go into business, you have to go in to dominate, as Grant Cardone says. You have to go in to win. Raise the bar incrementally. So you can't do it all at once. You can't go from 0. A lot of people want to come into direct sales and go from 0 to 100. I'm like, you haven't even shown this. Let's be real honest. Most people in direct sales have not shown this to 10 people in 1 month. And they're telling us they want to go show it to 100. Here's the problem. When you say that, it sounds good to you, and it might sound good for ego, but everybody else is looking at you like you have, green aliens coming out of your ears. They just know it's not true. They're like, you sound crazy and you sound unrelatable, even though intention might be there. You need to incrementally do it. I showed 10 and people are like, oh, okay. I showed 20. Oh, okay. That's better. I showed 30. Okay, now we're talking. This person's really serious. Do you see how you keep going up? And then all of a sudden you do show it 100 times in a month. And here's what everybody says. Well, of course you'd show it 100 times. Of course you'd do that. You did 10, you did 20, you did 30. You set a track record. But to say you're going to go from 0 to 100, you look stupid. Or just, you look insane. So raise the bar incrementally. Confidence is increased as you achieve incremental advancing goals. And that's what we're talking about. Okay, I did 10. I can really do 10. Now I think I can do 20. So you start doubling. If every person grows a little on the team, the group is going to grow a lot. And, there's a bunch of numbers to track this. When the group goes out and does 10% more, production goes up by quite a bit more than 10%. Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 30. I've seen it go up as much as 50%, which is insane. How do you motivate an unmotivated person? How do you motivate an unmotivated person? Money. No, sometimes money doesn't do it. It says start with motivated people. John says don't work with the unmotivated people. Don't even work with them. If they're unmotivated, if they're not willing to do something, there's nothing. So there's something called the pyramid of motivation. The pyramid of motivation is actually a triangle. And it starts with the bottom of the triangle, the largest base, and the base is made up of 27% of people who are unmotivatable, meaning there is nothing you can do to make these people do anything. Not that your job is to make people do stuff, but there's no way to motivate them. There's no incentive, there's no amount of money, there's no mission, there's no worldly cause. These are the people that if a gold brick gets dropped in the yard, they're pissed off and they're trying to sue somebody. They're like, it killed my grass. I'm like, you idiot, there's $1 million in your backyard and you're complaining about it. There's a lot of people like that on Facebook. So 27%, you just don't mess with them. I smile, I'm nice, but I'm not on the phone with them. I smile, I'm nice, but I'm not setting up coffee with them or going out to eat with those kind of people. The moment I see it, I'm like, nope. I will be nice to you, but I'm not going to give you my undivided attention and my undivided time, because time is what life's made up of. So you start with motivated people. 60% are motivatable. 60% are motivatable. So if you sponsor 10 people, there's 6 of them. There's 3 of them that aren't going to do anything. There's about 6 of them right around there, that you can work with, meaning you can have that conversation and be like, okay, we need to talk. There's some stuff going on here, and here's kind of the good, the bad, the ugly, and here's what we need to do. You can get that group of people to move. And that's where the majority of your leadership can come through, is with that 60%. Then you have 10% that are motivatable, meaning they're going to go out and do it regardless, and 1% are the motivators, the ones that can go out and really get it done. Meryl Reese, what's going on? Hope things are well. Understand the connection between relationships and motivation. How to identify a motivated person. They have a positive attitude. They have goals for their life. They're self-starters. They have a proven track record. They've already done stuff. You know, I've met people in different businesses. They're already doing stuff. They already have, you know, they're already on the path of success. Those are people you want to work with. The problem is people who are already on a path of success are harder to get in front of, and they're harder to join what you're doing because they already have so much going on. But you're looking for those type of people. You're looking for the busy people. Give each person a reputation to uphold. Like, this is the standard that we're going off of. The more you validate people for the good things they're doing, the more good things they want to do. So it is a consistent thing. And this goes for more than direct sales. It goes for more than direct sales. It's direct sales. It's any business. The more you validate what they're doing well, the more they want to do well. Reward what you want done. Reward what you want done. You know, give to what you want done. Hi, Bess. How are you? The grandma's law, it says, if you eat all your vegetables, you can have your dessert. You know, that's kind of like the recognition point. You know, if you do what we're supposed to do, here's the reward. Here's the prize. Here's the present at the end. People will work for the reward they desire. That's the key. What do they desire? You know, hey, here's some fun stuff to do. They don't want to do any of that, so therefore they don't go to work. As soon as you say, well, what do you want to do? And they're like, well, I'd really like to do this. Great, you get that if you do this. Oh, okay, now it's done. 4, how do you deal with people who start things but never finish? I didn't know John wrote a chapter about me. He didn't consult me on this, but he figured it out all on his own, and he's like, oh, this is the Jeff Gamble. Because I had started a million projects. I didn't realize ADHD was a thing. I just thought that was normal, and that's what you did. You know, I thought you were supposed to start writing a book, and then start building a house, and then start building a company, and then start building a logo, and then, you know, start building, you know, another project, and, you know, buy something at Goodwill and say that you're going to redesign it, and you never redesign it. So I didn't realize that. And here's the problem with it. He said they lose the reward of finishing, because there's a huge reward to finish projects. It lowers their self-esteem. Like, a lot of people don't realize it lowers your self-esteem. Like, that was a problem, because eventually, when I did get that this was hurting me, I was able to look around consistently and look at all the projects I didn't finish. Which, you know, that doesn't necessarily motivate you in the morning when you get up and you're like, oh, there's another thing I was going to do. Oh, there's another thing I was going to do. Oh, there's another thing I was going to do. It also becomes very confusing. They also sabotage their own success. You know, as they get close, you know, well, you don't finish anything. Well, you never complete anything. Well, you never stay on track. It's easier to move from failure to success than from excuses to success. So just because something didn't work doesn't mean anything. But if you have a whole line of excuses of why you can't, you know, I love the people, well, I really can't because, you know, I'm busy, because, you know, there's leaves in the yard, because you know, my parents and my friends and my this and my car and my whatever. They always have an excuse. It says they lose the trust and respect of others. See, when you don't finish things, when you don't complete things, people are like, well, I'd love to join you, but knowing that you never get done, I can't do it. Rambo, what's up, man? Hope things are going well up there in Wisconsin. So help people finish, you know, first, show them the big picture. Hey, if we do finish this, here's what we get. Give them accountability. Hey, as soon as you get this done, not the whole project, but as soon as you get what you're working on done, let me know. Keep me up to date. That's kind of a phrase that I learned from, you know, a very successful person. Keep me up to date on what's going on. Like, keep me up to date when you finish that. Keep me up to date when you complete that first project. Keep me up to date when you finish that house. Let me know what's going on. 3, help them schedule their time. it's not really schedule. It's like help them actually like prioritize their time. Rambo, I could probably bring you on here and you could do this, but like if you're going to do a house, there's certain things that need done in a certain order. You're like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the floor first and then I'm going to do the plumbing. I'm like, no, you idiot, you need to do the plumbing first. The plumbing's underneath the floor. You don't finish the floor first, and you don't want to paint before you do the floor. I mean, there's certain things you want to do in a certain order. So you kind of have to take people aside and be like, this is the correct order. Not the correct. This is the most efficient order to do something. This is the order things have to be done in if you want the best result. So you don't have to go tear things back up and stop what you're doing to go fix something and come back. 4, provide a work partner. Hey, here's somebody to work with. You know, we're talking about within direct sales, it makes sense. You know, here's somebody to work with. Here's somebody, you know, to follow. Here's somebody to watch how they say things. 5, reward only finished work. Participation, guys, the participation award is stupid. In fact, they've actually done studies that the participation award actually is demotivating to the people who are actually working doing it. You know, there's a bunch of people who participated, but they weren't really, with no focus, no goal. They didn't really finish what they were doing. They just participated. They didn't win anything, but they get a trophy anyway. It says it's actually demotivating to everybody. It's worse for the person that gets the award because they know they don't deserve it. And psychologists figured that out. That's nothing about, you know, me. 5, how can leaders help individuals move past their mistakes, filter out negative self-talk, and get on the path of success towards becoming a better future leader? The 24-hour rule, success or failure. Every 24 hours, you're either working towards something or you're not. So you have to look at every 24 hours and be like, am I moving in the right direction or am I not? If you're moving in the right direction, you're moving towards success. If you're not, you're moving in the opposite direction, and it's going to take you longer to get to success. Don't, it says done. It's supposed to be don't. Don't live in the past either way. Always be moving forward. Don't look back and be like, oh my gosh, I should have, I could have. Because that won't move you forward. 6, at what point do you turn your energy away from dissenters and low performers and focus on those who want to grow? So one of the hardest things is you have to leave behind sometimes the people who, quote unquote, were your friends at the time. They were the friends at the time because you weren't going anywhere. And when you're not going anywhere, guess what? People who aren't going anywhere all like to hang out together. You know why? Because they're not going anywhere. As soon as you start moving, the people who aren't going anywhere are like, oh, you going out again? You going to work? You going to that thing? Why do you always go to these meetings? Why are you always working? It's because one day I'm going to get to go do stuff that you can't do. And I want to do that stuff, you know. They said, you know, do what's uncomfortable, and all of a sudden you get to do what's comfortable all the time. But if you don't do what's uncomfortable, you will permanently be doing what's uncomfortable. I should make my own quote on that book. So 7, how do you inspire your team to make its current work and career and something to be proud to do, and not just another job with a paycheck? You put a vision, you put a mission, you put a purpose behind it. This is why we're doing what we're doing. I mentioned this the other night on our team call. I said, guys, understand, I'm building this not to build this. I'm building this to fund all the other things I want to do. Now, the question is what do you want to do? And somebody's like, oh, I've never heard that before. I'm like, that's the reason. I mean, I've always thought like that, but I don't think I've ever verbalized it and said it that way. I was like, guys, I'm not building this to build this. I'm building this so I can go fund these other things I want to do. And here's the other things I want to do. Don't you want to do something else? So you share your passion, you paint your picture of a better future. I didn't realize John already told me what to do. People want to make a difference and work for something that's worth working for. So they need a cause. A lot of times people just don't want to show up to work. They want a cause. They're like, we're doing this for the betterment of, and show them how their roles make a difference. Challenge them to keep growing. If you aren't fired up, you can't fire anyone else up. I was told a wet wick won't light anybody else's. You know, somebody used to say, you know, don't be wet wood. You know, it's hard to catch wet wood on fire. What that means is, you know, don't be that mopey, you know, tired, worn out. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm worn out. Like, if you constantly say that, A, you'll be more worn out, more tired, on top of the fact that you're actually demotivating everybody else around you, because it's just like sucking their energy out as well. How does one lead people who are more knowledgeable or superior leaders when put in charge of them? So, like, if you have somebody on your team that's way better, let's say they joined because of a family member, this, that, and the other thing. When you identify, hey, this person is better, like they have their stuff together, you want to third party everything. You just want to get out of their way. In some cases, you're like, this is what I know. Compliment them and like, look, you obviously have done more than I've done. You've done better than I've done. So what do you think? Take their input. Like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I know the basics, but what do you think is the best way? If you don't have that influence, find out who they feel are influential and mirror match them with somebody like that. So this is where you have to pull from somebody in the chain of command. We like to say upline, but upline necessarily isn't always the best person to go to. Sometimes it's a friend or a leader in the marketplace, just depending on your company, right? Who is the most influential? Who does everyone go to? Who does everyone listen to when they talk? So watch this. Sometimes the person doesn't necessarily have the pin or the title, but when they talk, everybody stops and listens. Like, that's a key person to follow, or at least check in with. How long do you push someone's potential when they are not reaching it? It says, when we have made our last climb, we are old. Whether 40 or 80, Fred Smith. So what he's saying is like, when you stop running for a dream, when you stop goal setting, it's over. Like, regardless of what age you are. That's why Benjamin Franklin, I think, said, most people die at 25 and we bury them at 85. It's because they stop dreaming at 25. They're like, okay, I'm really not getting anywhere else. I'm just going to work. Why do people stop growing? Number one, choices. They quit when it gets hard. Oh, it's hard. This is hard. I don't want to do it. They choose fun and entertainment over education and advancement. It's funny because I just had this conversation with somebody last night. They're like, yeah, I guess I just want to chill too much. I guess I just want to hang out too much. And I'm like, yeah, that can hurt you. That can seriously hurt you. Time. Most have short-term thinking and short-term success belief. If it doesn't happen fast, then it's not meant to be. So this is the microwave mentality. The microwave mentality says, well, if I can't be successful in 10 minutes, this is stupid and it's not worth it. Not thinking that there's nothing worthwhile that happens that fast, right? It takes 9 months to have a kid. It doesn't happen overnight. The conception can happen over a few days, but to actually have the kid, to grow the whole baby is going to take 9.5 months. But people think that they can shortcut and grow an entire company and grow influence and grow the dream. Like, you can't do that really quickly. You do it day by day. You can't do it in a day. Price. Talent will never carry you to the top. Talent alone is what it should say. Talent alone will never carry you to the top. You're going to have to work at it, and you're going to have to work for it. I was told this: success costs 100%. It never goes on sale. So you looking for the shortcut? Here's the answer. There is no shortcut. You're going to have to change. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to stop doing all the crap that you go do. And everybody does something different. Some people play video games. Some people procrastinate by watching the news. Some people are reading the newspaper. Some people are scrolling through Facebook, commenting on every single post that they don't like that makes them feel weird. Well, you don't know what you're talking about, this, that, and the other thing. And all of a sudden, you're the judge, the jury, and the executioner of everybody on Facebook. But you're not building your business. Now, we know you're not building your business. Everybody who, we know this. And then at night, you're like, why isn't this working for me? Look at your time and what you're doing. Problems. Letting things defeat you. I have a responsibility to help people grow and reach their potential. That's what John says. That's his focus. I'm going to help people grow. If life is an elevator, most people will get off one floor below where they should. Meaning, everybody shortcuts their success, and everybody stops before they reach their potential. Why? Because it's easier. Most people go after what's easier. Most people go after what's, they don't have to do anything or do less. So 10, how do you know a relationship is broken, and how can you save it? It's hard to have an honest conversation. There's a lack of trust. There's a lack of passion to continue the relationship. Initiate fixing the relationship with them. How to initiate it? It says it is always the leader's responsibility to be the first to mend a relationship. So, I'm going to wait on them. No, a leader's like, look, we need to fix this. Give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's the second thing, you give them the benefit of the doubt. 2, be willing to walk the second mile. Hey, this isn't fun, but I'm going to go walk the second. I'm going to try again. And we're going to fix it and kind of go from there. Leaders need to be quick to say, I'm sorry, and then speak well of them afterwards. So you can't be like, this person always does this. This person always. Whenever you use the word always, it's a generalization. And, nobody always does, it's just a generalization. And what it does is it keeps you in that mindset. So, look for what's good. Even sometimes that's hard. Look for what's good. And that's what you're going to repeat. If you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. It's that kind of thing. So that's what I have for chapter 7. Anything?
I think you pretty much covered all of it. So with that, that was chapter 7, and we will be going over chapter 8 tomorrow. And if you guys would like the notes for this chapter, we're going to go put those notes in the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show Facebook group. So if you guys haven't joined that group yet, go ahead and go do that. And we're also uploading each one of these videos to YouTube. So if you ever want to go back to a book that, there's a gnat. Goodness gracious. Anywho, before I got attacked by a gnat, if you would like to go back and watch some books that we've already gone through, you are more than welcome to do that. But with that, that is what we have for you today, and we will see you tomorrow.